And here we are at the finals. If I was playing an 18-lander, I'd be tempted. Like, this hand actually has a beautiful curve. But I don't think I can keep it with 17 lands. Like, we could look at the math. Let's do that. It's worth, in scenarios like this, thinking through what the math is. So if there's 16 lands left out of 33, yeah, we're a little under hitting in 2 draw steps. And then what do we get? We get this dude. The thing is, if we can get to 3, we can play the Cryptolith Fragment. And it's pretty good. We got a bunch of good 3s, but I could see this going dramatically wrong. This one's a little better in that if it hits lands, it's happy. I can't take that. I've got enough to do with the big mana stuff. But we can answer their first threat relatively easily. Nice. Nice. I think we're priced into just killing the first thing they play. But that said, ripping lands from here would be a thing. Yep. We will kill it. We will kill it with fire. Burn. Get out of here. They could easily play something better. I get that. And that's not what I want to be doing with my burn spells. But we're not really in a position right now to do much other than get beat in the face and then try to resolve a Cryptolith Fragment into a Crusader, I guess. Right, if the top 5 cards are lands, which they may be, looks like our opponent's mana screwed too, so it's one of those both sides played hard games. I could also just be sitting on a removal spell. Alright, so Salvation would only be for 1, so that's not what we want to do here. I think we probably want to go with the Stallion and plan on blocking if we can. Like, this at least gets that off the board or gets a trick out of their hand, but I'm snap blocking. And if we're going to sit here and stare at each other with this board state, I'm kind of okay with that. Because I can get the Crusader down and then Dark Salvation to force it through. So they're going to need an additional blocker. Well, that's not good right now. It is good if we draw a land. Or if we want to murder their dude. Which we probably do. So at this point, we've got the option of murder their dude and block. I'd rather play Certain Death, but I can't. Yeah, I think I've got the cards in hand that we can make this work. I'd like to be able to use the Dark Salvation to kill this guy, but I don't think I can risk that. I'm sitting with so many good cards in hand. Let's just equalize here. Okay. I guess that means I can use the Dark Salvation to kill their guy and go to just a stupidly low life total. Me and you. We don't have any other way to gain life besides the Certain Death. It's not absurd here to just cast the Devil's Playground. I certainly can't cast the Arsonist, but I feel like I need to get their thing off the board and develop the board, and this lets me do both. We're kind of screwed to a flyer here, but if they don't have one, we might be able to come back. Okay, that is the flyer Mama warned us about. So I'm gonna kill it. Gives us a little bit of a life buffer. If we can just have them whiff for a turn. So here I can attack and play the Arsonists, or attack and play the Playground. They're going to emerge this into something giant. As long as it's not like an Elder Deep Friend, we're probably okay. And this gives us some likelihood of being able to turn on the Cryptolith Fragment. Alright, so no Elder Deep Friend one time. Yeah, sure, buddy. I guess they can't have Elder Deep Friend because they're not on double blue. You want me to attack? I'll attack. You can Silver Strike a token? I'm certainly okay if you would like to do that. Are you too proud to Silver Strike a token? Oh, you want to save it for this. Okay. Alright. I feel like I want to force through the most damage I can rather than playing a big thing. So I kind of like this and this better. With the idea that we'll Spreading Flames whatever they play here and flip our Fragment and be good to go. Like, that's actually a problem for us, that they have the Cathar with our life total as low as it is. So we could attack and then before blocks flames those away. Do I have an instant in here already? I do. This just, if they're gonna do like an instant speed thing, we may as well give them the opportunity to do it. This is kind of Wrath or die. Or have the Silver Strike we were worried about. So this is at the beginning of your upkeep. So at end of turn, we'll flip this and put ourselves to 5. Well, we get to cast one of these two things. I have a hard time believing that the Stensia Innkeeper is going to get much work done here. So let's send in the boys. There's an argument that we don't need to play anything because if they have, if they actually do have the Wrath, we're dead to it. But I can't play both of these in one turn anyway. So I think I'm going to run out my least valuable creature here. And basically, if they have Descend Upon the Sinful, it sucks, but that wasn't like one of these is a good follow-up. Both of them are not. Drawing another creature would be fine, and that would have been fine too. All right, so we're up against blue-white skies with punish you for attacking things. Presumably, this indicates that they either have a bad pool or they've got some number of choking restraints that they'd like to use. And my guess would be there's some sort of emerge shenaniganry going on. I'm remarking on the choking restraints because it makes me want to keep them all. They're also playing Humble the Brute. I think I have too many targets to just take all of those out. But we can look. Like it kills this, it kills this, it kills this, it kills that. Okay. We probably can't cut the Humble the Brutes. I guess the guy could have just been for the Faith Unbroken shenaniganry. I don't know for sure that I've got much of a sideboard against this. They're going to put us on the draw, which can make the Vessel better. Make Mischief didn't look particularly great. We could use Uncaged Fury if we think we absolutely have to be able to do something. And we've got this Borrowed Hostility. I didn't really mention it because I'm not a huge... Like, this deck doesn't want combat tricks. That's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to kill your stuff. And then kill you. But I think our Removal Suite sort of matches up well against this, and I do like them all if we have reason to believe that they've got choking restraints. I kind of don't want the Uncaged Fury or combat tricky things, especially if they've got Silver Strike and Collective Sack Your Dude. The Innkeeper gets a bit worse on the draw. I think I'll swap the Innkeeper out for the Duelist here. And then when we go on the play, we may make that swap back. Alright, this is fine. The Devil's Playground's particularly good against them. Because I'll sack tokens all day. I'm still going to run out the Whelp, even though there's a chance they kill it and we cry. It's just, if you don't have your sacrifice a creature thing, it's just too good. Because it'll deal 4 damage to them over the course of a few turns. And I suppose we don't have to attack with it. Like, what's up, Talia? You scared of wolves? You are, aren't you? Why are you so scared of wolves? Like, they can't even really attack with it there. So, our option here may just be to attack with the Whelp. Like, attacking with both gives them the opportunity to block it, first strike it. It could also be to pass, and then greeting Talia next turn. Like, we're going to have to suck it up and have him kill something at some point. But I think I'd actually rather do it now, because next turn, if they're leaving the mana up, we've got to worry about Stormrider Spirit. So this will either let me know if they have it or not. Because if they had it, they certainly do it there. So they do not have Blessed Alliance in hand right now. Now here we're going to kill the Talia. And they may have the Stormrider Spirit. It's up to me to decide if I care enough about Ghoulcaller's Accomplice. I mean, it's just as likely that they have... Actually, it's a little bit more likely that they have the Stormrider Spirit than that they drew the Blessed Alliance. But I kind of don't care about the Accomplice right now. Like, it's safe to send this guy in, but if they're going to eat a 2/2... Alright, I'll get it back eventually later. I will cast the Playground first. because that threatens a lot more damage. But if we draw our Wheel of Fortune card off the top, like the 6th land, I think is the last one I'm going to play. Because they may be in a position now where they can't even attack with this. And this dude did 6 damage. Like, what more do you want out of a 2-drop? And them thinking they want to race is probably good for us, too. All right, now there's a decent chance they have Blessed Alliance. Because no, they may just not have a creature. And this is the last turn for them to have it. They erase all the work this poor whelp has put in, but they could just be sitting on something stupid expensive. And that was the last turn that Blessed Alliance really gets us, because we got all these devils. And I'll just hold the rest of the lands in case we hit our Wheel of Fortune. Or the Prophet, I guess. Maybe having 1 in play for the Prophet's fine, so if we loot into a 3-drop we can cast it. Or loot into a 4-drop we can cast it. We'll see. I don't think that's crazy to hold two lands, but holding the 3rd may be a bit much. Now you want to block. Okay. So if I swing into that, they finally get to kill this dude and take 4 going to 8, which puts these almost lethal. They could also just eat 2 of these. Am I willing to sack this guy to force damage? Given the state of my hand, I may be. The challenge is forcing damage against somebody who has life gain in their deck is not great. And getting them down to 4 does make the collective whatever lethal. I think it's probably worth doing, although this may be the last attack we get. Like with our hand sitting here on basically empty, I think getting them as low as we can and then trying to burn them out next turn does a thing. But if they don't tap out, we don't get to attack anymore. Because we can't attack into that. I guess they could just gain the life on a stick and go back to 10. Okay. It's called making my removal good. Now, I think they probably should take a devil here. That's reasonable too, I suppose. But I think I'm supposed to hold these for the Defiance. 3 new cards is enough. I'll go here. So like if I swing here, they take 2 going down to 4. I don't think that's where I want to be, especially now that we're just stone out of gas. I need them to get comfortable and think they can attack. Okay, that is step 1. Now, the collective shenaniganry wrecks us because it leaves us with absolutely no board, them at 10. So I think we've got 1 more turn. The problem is they still gain the life. This way they take 2, gain 4, go to 8, and I can draw collective shenaniganry into incendiary flow. That does 4, 5, 6, 7, which is not 8. It does mean we can play another land, though. I think I have to go for it, knowing that they have it, just to get it out of their hand. And then I go to 1, and we've got to draw exactly the Wheel of Fortune card, and get lucky to get there. If I sacrifice a devil, which was going to die anyway, I think we actually get in a little bit of extra damage here. Because this puts them to 8 with me having 1 point here, which means I... Oh, yeah, okay. This is actually really good. So this means I can draw Wheel of Fortune into Incendiary Flow and have the 1 point of damage still here. So we got 1 draw. Let me see it. Let me see it. That's not as good. That's not as good. This doesn't beat more life gain from them, so like if they had a Silver Strike, they'd have gotten us, but... That looks like their deck just destroyed us, but... I mean, we kind of flooded. They did too. But... It did not work out in our flavor. Alright. Defeat was had. Lessons were learned. I think we're still set up good against this. I do want the Innkeeper again here. Although the Duelist would have been good at various scenarios in that game, it's still just like there's so much life gain. If I'm going on the play, I don't want the Vessel. I still don't want that. I still don't want that. Make Mischief doesn't look great. I don't think I want to be that aggressive. We've already got a Prophet to deal with Flood, so I don't need the Raving. Yeah, I think I'm just going to swap the Innkeeper back in and give this a go. We just drew too many lands. They did too, and they were able to capitalize on it because their creatures are better. I think our removal's better. Oh yeah, let's go on the play. This is not beautiful, but we'll keep it. It's going to have some problems with like a Thalia, potentially. Whelp would be a pretty good draw here. Fair enough. I mean, Swamp would be a decent draw too. I can't envision a scenario where I use this Murder until they've put their enchantment on something. But I suppose it could happen, so there's no point not leaving it up. I think we're certainly the aggressive player here, so we're going to make this attack. Most people won't trade with the Ghoul Caller's Accomplice. And the Stallion blanks it next turn, so... we may as well get in for the damage while we can. I might murder Italia. Yeah, I think I will. Because we're going to have to draw more removal spells anyway, and there are more in the deck. But she just stifles our entire game plan. That's another card that's not really beatable. Unless you draw exactly what you need right here. That actually makes it okay to attack with both, because if I flash this back and get another zombie, we're kind of okay with that. Now, the bad news is they're probably going to draw some cards off of it, and we're not going to like it. But I can Dark Salvation for 2 this turn. It will still only be for 2 zombies next turn, but if I flash this back this turn, then I can actually kill a Bygone Bishop with it. There's also, they're scared of a combat trick and take it, which is kind of just okay. That is exactly what we wanted. Force in 3 damage. Get our zombie bro back. Pass the turn. The problem is that they're setting up a card advantage engine that we may not be able to handle. But I don't think they're willing to trade their Daring Sleuth here. Maybe they are. But I have a suspicion they're going to attack with the Bishop and pass. Alright, and we can answer a bishop. So we get the zombies. You die. X is 2. So bishop's gone. I had to do that before I attacked because I do want to attack with the zombie. And if they traded it for this guy, that ends up not being particularly good for us because we can't kill the bishop. So this leaves an empty board. They've got some cards in hand. We've got a board presence. And both of us are playing off the top. We've got enough to cast Spreading Flames. Wheel of Fortune is still a great draw. I can't remember. It's Collective Savagery, Alliance, Brutality, something. That was a decent turn. I don't think this is going to get much better than here. I guess the only thing I could do, if I really think I need the card advantage, like we're forcing through 2 damage, that's not super relevant. I could see if they want to cast Faith Unbroken on one of their dudes. Because that seems like a really good play here if they have it in hand. And I don't mind taking 3 to find out. I'm at 16, I kind of don't care. They might also just play something better I'd rather kill than the Extricator. Turns out they didn't. I've only got 6 damage. I kind of feel like I need to use this. So what am I looking to draw? Probably... So they just need an instant to go off, and they've got one for sure. So like this guy flipping would be bad. I think that means I take out the Extricator and the Horror, and then if I draw Incendiary Flow, I can take this out. Like, I realize I'm 1 for 1-ing with this card. It kind of sucks. But they are close to Delirium, and I have a few clean answers to this in the deck. That's not one of them, but again, I can take the 3. His Flood is a bit brutal, but we've got recovery options. We have flood insurance. We just need to draw it. I think I might be enough on the back foot that I want to block this and just let them have a 1-1. Yeah, this is not my kill condition. Like, if their best play is to make a spirit, I don't care. Alright, alright. I do want one more land so we could hard cast them all. So I'll play that, and then we'll just hold these last 2 for Looters / Savage Alliance, Fodder, Borrowed Hostility, the red card that does all the things. Alright. Montaigne. I like mountains. Mountains are really pretty in the fall when they're covered in like hardwood trees and the leaves are turning. That's a great time to visit the mountains. Whelp. I guess this is fine. It technically wins this race, although it's hard for me to believe that with 5 cards in hand they don't have a way to interact with the 2-1. There you go. Good news is our removal gets better. Like, we were already incentivized to kill the 1-1, and now killing it gives us a 2 for 1 back. Stupid cultist. Alright. That's a big thing. We still, again, desperately need removal. The deck's kind of full of it. But we will see. I do not believe there's a world in which I can attack with this. Vexing Scuttler getting back Drag Under, I suppose. Okay. I might have waited to cast that next turn, to be honest. I mean, I know they want to use their mana, but I'm just going to block the 4/5 with my 5/4. That's where we get punished a little bit for holding lands. Yeah, I suppose I should play one more, because if they bounce the guy again, we can play both. But to be fair, if they bounce the guy again, we're just dead. Okay. I think we had some particularly bad draws here. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, if we draw basically any of these cards a little sooner, I think we're still playing Magic. Because they have so many defensive and reactive cards, we had to stabilize first, and we're just never really able to do that. But that's all right. I do love these little phantom things, because you don't have to worry about card value or anything like that. You just play the games. If you go 2-1, which we did, you end up with your entry fee back, which is just fantastic. So that's going to do it for us today. I will be back here next Monday with some draft or sealed videos. And I'm streaming 5 or 6 days a week these days at twitch.tv/Simulan, predominantly playing limited Magic, although occasionally playing Constructed. And I have currently been playing Eternal, which is a new card game, digital only, that's come out, which I'm really enjoying. So you might see some of that over there too. So come check out the channel and say hi. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. Dutch, would you like to say goodbye? All right. We'll see you next week, folks.